Let's get straight to the point. Investor Armando Pantoja believes XRP could one day hit $1,000 per token. That's a 33,233% return from its current price. And yes, he's fully aware it might take more than a decade to happen. In his words, a 33,233% return? I'll wait 10 plus years for that. Now, that's a bold statement in the crypto world where people often look for quick gains. But Pantoja's approach is different. He's not predicting an overnight explosion. He's betting on long-term transformation. So let's break down what this actually means and why this prediction has sparked both hope and criticism. First, some context. XRP has been through a lot. Over the past few years, it's been heavily affected by regulatory pressure, especially the lawsuit from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. That case argued XRP was an unregistered security, and it significantly stalled the token's growth. But now that cloud has lifted. The case is largely behind us, and XRP is no longer considered a security. This regulatory clarity, many believe, puts XRP in a much better position for future growth. Pantoja compares XRP's journey to Bitcoin's early days. Remember, it took 8 years for Bitcoin to stay above the $1,000 level consistently. So, for him, it's not unreasonable to imagine XRP might follow a similar timeline. Now, let's do the math. For XRP to hit $1,000, it would need to grow by over 33,000%. At today's price, around $3. That sounds extreme. But Pantoja and others believe that in a tokenized future, such a price is possible. It's not just him saying this. Matthew Brennan, COO of CryptoGuard, also forecasted that XRP could hit $1,000 by 2035. And earlier this month, a researcher named Anderson argued that if Bitcoin could reach $1 million, then XRP hitting $1,000 isn't out of the question. But here's the catch. Critics strongly disagree. Quentin Francois, host of Coin Compass, said the $1,000 target is delusional. And when you look at the numbers, it's not hard to see why. XRP has a circulating supply of over 59 billion tokens. At $1,000 each, that would give it a market cap of $59 trillion. That's more than the total value of all gold, all Bitcoin, and all the world's biggest tech companies combined. That's a tough sell. Francois argues that such a valuation is simply not realistic. But others, like Dom Kwok, co-founder of EZA, push back. He thinks this kind of skepticism is too narrow, especially when we're talking about future financial systems that are still evolving. So who's right? Honestly, it depends on how you see crypto's long-term role. If you think the global economy will become more tokenized and digital assets will replace traditional banking, then XRP might play a huge part in that system. If not, the idea of it reaching $1,000 could just be fantasy. But even if XRP doesn't hit $1,000, the optimism behind these predictions tells us something important. People still believe in the long game. After all the setbacks, legal battles, price dips, criticism, there are still investors who are willing to wait. Not for a quick flip, but for a massive shift in how the world handles value and transactions. And here's where we should be critical. Yes, it's exciting to talk about 33,233% gains. But we should always ask, what would need to happen for this to be remotely possible? A complete transformation of global finance. Widespread adoption of XRP by banks and institutions. Real-world utility on a massive scale. And perhaps most importantly, a shift in public trust and regulation toward crypto in general. It's not impossible, but it's not simple either. In the end, whether you think XRP can really reach $1,000 or not, what matters is understanding the reasoning behind these predictions. For investors like Pantoja, this isn't just about price, it's about vision. And for those of us watching from the sidelines, it's a reminder to zoom out and think about where crypto might be in 10 years, not just next month.